We are at number 22 of our ranking of the 50 greatest chess players of all time. And this spot goes to Paul Keres, the great Estonian, born in 1916, dies in 1975. Peter, another one of those who does not get the World Championship title or even a World Championship match, but does pretty much everything else for a long time.
Yeah, that is the sad, tragic story in a way, right? I think a lot of chess fans has huge sympathy for Paul Keres because, he gets so close over such a long period of time, right? I mean, already in 1938, he, I think quite to everybody's surprise, wins something seen as an unofficial qualification tournament where actually Alekhine himself is playing. And I think Keres is only 22 or 23 years old at the time, but he actually wins it. And he's sort of supposed to play Alekhine, but it doesn't really materialize at that time. And then, of course, the war breaks out and Alekhine dies, and they have to find a new way to define who becomes the world champion. And then this tournament in 48 happens with 5 players. It was supposed to be 6, but Fine didn't play it. And Botvinnik wins it and becomes the world champion. I think Keres was seen as one of the favorites, but he loses the first 4 games, I think, to Botvinnik, and this has spurred a lot of controversy. He was told to throw his games and such. I think it's still unclear thing what actually happened and things like that. But in 48, which was a good opportunity for him, it becomes Botvinnik who takes over the chess crown. And then, for the next almost 15 years, he stays a contender. And he has this unfortunate record of 4 times has been number 2 in the candidates tournament. I mean, he always fell short after the one, who has the moment of his life and becomes the world champion, right? I think Tal Smyslov and who else would it be? I forgot right now. But especially in 62, the last time.
No, in 62.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
In 62.
Yeah. There's just 50. I mean, the 53. It's Smyslov, I guess. Then it's 56 and 59. It must be.
50, it's Bronstein. Okay, there he's 4th.
Mm-hmm. And then, there will be Tal in between as well. But in 62, it's Petrosyan. And, he ends half a point behind Petrosyan in this famed Curaçao tournament. But also there was all this speculation about collusion and such. And, also he's Estonian, which is, in the terms of Soviet politics, is not the most favored in that sense. So, I mean, he lives in a difficult time politically, and he was not the sort of the political front runner of these, and he gets to 4 times second place. So this is kind of sad in many ways, but he's a colossal player who, gets. He's seen as the strongest, maybe not to become the world champion. That can be debated. We just spoke about
Rubinstein, Korchnoi, there are always other names.
Yeah, others will come up, but he's definitely in the conversation. He will be in the conversation also because of his longevity. I think Sonas never have him as world number 1, actually, but for more than 19 years, he's in the top 5. And I think he's like about 10 years or maybe 9 years in top 3. So he's always there, but it doesn't pan out fully for either chess or political reasons or a combination of that. But he's seen as a giant that has done everything, then qualify for a world championship match, I would say. And also, you can say that 4 times he's just 1 spot away, and then the 5th time he actually wins, but the World War happens and he doesn't get to play Alekhine and such.
Yeah, there's also the usual tons of tournament successes, 3-time Soviet champion, won all these, I guess, chess Olympiads on Team USSR, where he's always crushing. So no, he's on the level of these guys that we will, spoiler alert, probably meet later on the list that would be world champion. That's what's missing.
Well, I mean, he could actually be ahead of some of them, I would say, right? I mean, if you check, if you take their careers and sort of plot them 20 years, who was the strongest, he might actually have more than 10 years where he was better than some of those that we will have higher on the list. But he doesn't get to the absolute top in world championship cycles, and that's why Keres is only 22.
Yeah. Also a great teacher on a personal note. It's one of my first chess books, Keres, I think. In German, Praktische Endspiele, Practical Chess Endgames, I thought was a great book to learn endgames from. Then had this chess trainer, Paul Keres, I think, once again it's in German. So he was, also a great writer and had a very clear style, like open games, active pieces that, resonated with me. I'm not sure who you can compare it to. Maybe it's...
No.
Fischer is like, I'm not sure. He seemed to have like a clean, direct style that wasn't, that felt classical yet active. It's hard to describe. It's just very, very good.
Logical in a way, but I think also he had a lot of fans. I mean, I recall when reading in the Danish chess magazine and such, it was obvious that he was a popular player and things like that. So,
Also, from all I've read, I think we had a very good series of articles on him on
very much so.
Good old Chess24. He seemed like a nice guy, right? Which maybe doesn't help you with these politics and getting to a world championship match, but he seems like he's beloved.
Yeah.
By many, for sure.
No, I mean, well, you will hear dodgy stories that could be true or not true about other players. I don't recall any on Keres, to be honest. And also, well, he's a huge national hero in Estonia, right? He had a state funeral, and I think even quite recently he was chosen to be on the euro coin, right? Well, each EU member get to choose one. You can go and find, you can get a Keres coin and you can pay with it in your, I don't know what you buy in Germany, but coffee shop. Anyway.
Shall we have a look at a game where he defeats good old Capablanca?
Yeah, that was my choice. I just thought it was a good logical game. It also shows him early. And that's also, when we talk of Keres, you would not come, if I asked you had Keres played Capablanca, you would say, I have no idea, right? You see him as someone who actually competed with Spassky, Tal, etc. and such, but he actually has competed with Capablanca and quite successfully, as we will see.
Yeah. E4. E6, bold choice by Capablanca. Knight d2, c5, ed. Nowadays, queen d5 more popular. Yeah, Keres does his thing. Clean, logical moves. Queen e7 check. I'm not sure. I don't think that's mainstream anymore.
No. I think Dolmatov was playing it at some point, but...
the point is you lure the bishop back, then you put the queen on c7, and you're saying no harm done. But Black accepts his isolated pawn, which against a classical player like Keres, of course, can be an issue. b3. And showing some understanding, transforming the structure with knight takes c6. I'm not sure if this is an obvious move, but...
No, you have made your logical moves. You have to do something, right? What's next is more or less the problem.
Yeah. So he takes, and after b takes c, pawn to c4. It's just long-term weaknesses in the black position.
White is pleasantly better. No, also, this game is not representative of Capablanca's strength, obviously.
Yeah, but it's the Capablanca that didn't lose a game for 7 years or something, so any victory against him is nice, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts pressure on these pawns. Obviously, white is better. Knight e6,
that's
some tactics.
You can't take it because this game is too simplistic in many ways. But still.
No, it shows his style, but maybe that's strength that he doesn't make Capablanca look like a very strong player. Questions?
Well, I would assume rook d7 is bust if you take it, yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Keres thought about this.
Yeah.
Queen to e6. Yeah,
game over. Yeah. So.
Rook to e8, pawn to g3. Queen to c8. Okay, Capablanca is hanging in there a bit, but he's a pawn down in a bad endgame. There's no saving here.
Yeah, now it becomes a bit of a technical phase, but that's not too difficult.
It's not even much of a technical phase. We just pick up a second pawn, and this is it.
Well, you see, the guy is 22. He beats Capablanca. He's supposed to play Al-Yahin, right? I mean, if that happens and he wins, okay, you are a legend and you will be the reigning world champion. And then you have I mean, it's not Budwinnik who has to sit there and wait to become the challenger, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's just one lucky bounce, and he gets the match and wins it, and it's a completely different story, right? And, so, now it was Paul II, as they called him, right? I mean, that's, fate can be a bit cruel at times.
Is that a title you're going for? Peter the Carlson second?
Well, I for me, second is a different word. I understand. I wouldn't mind that, no. So.
No, anyway, there. What is that to say? Just an amazing player, very difficult times, but he stuck around for more than 20 years.
But no one comes to mind in a comparable way of, being around in the World Championship cycle that close for that long, right? I mean...
No, we had these guys with longevity earlier, Portish, Polugajewski, but they weren't quite on the level.
They were qualifying to some extent. Well, also, I mean, Kortsnoy, we will probably mention later, but he gets to play matches, but he's not that close for that long. And I mean, in a modern context, of course, you can maybe talk about Aronian, but not to the same extent at all. And such. Also, it's not over for him yet. And such. So, no, Keres, I can understand why he's a bit unique. That he's, I mean, we're talking 38 when he becomes the unofficial qualifier, and then we're talking 62 when he's half a point behind Petrosyan. I mean, it's 24 years in between, right? And then, well, he's involved in everything in that period. It is saddening to talk about Keres. I mean, well, he actually had an awesome career that makes all of us extremely humble, but it's tough getting that close and not really managing.
Yeah, still. As you mentioned, he is incredibly beloved, not just in Estonia, but I think in the chess world, highly respected. So I'm not sure if people see him as a weaker figure than, some of the world champions that will come up later for him. Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree. It depends on our definitions. A world championship title is something we value very highly. So, I mean, that's why Keres is only 22, which is, still, for someone who hasn't played a world championship match, is very, very high, I would say. And also, there is no point in history where Keres is undisputed number one. Actually, according to Sonas, he's never exactly number one, but undisputed number one, he's not close to in that sense. So I think we're treating him fairly, but some boxes he ticks incredibly well.
All right, that was Paul Keres, number 22. Thanks for watching.